Okay, so you said in your survey that you want to go to a 4-year college to study chemistry, and you plan to have a career as a research chemist. So can you tell me how you decided to pursue that path?
I was always super interested in science, just from a young age. I had kind of just had an interest in it, and I took a liking to all my science classes, more so than any of the other ones. I just didn't, it wasn't like I did better a ton, it's just I didn't like the other ones as much. And then as I got older and older, I kind of started to shape, okay, at first I thought I wanted to be a physicist, and then in sophomore year I took a chemistry class, and I really, really liked it, and it was just a general chemistry class, so it was pretty easy, but I was super interested and constantly was like trying to figure out more. And then I took AP chemistry the next year, and everyone's like, oh, it's going to be really hard, and it was the most fun class I had that year. So
that was
like,
your thing.
You know what, I think I should try to do this, and so that's how I kind of decided. And then a friend of mine who leads my youth group majored in chemistry at Ohio State, and I talked to him for a while about it, and he kind of told me about what kind of stuff he's doing, and the stuff that he's talking about, and it was super interesting, and so I decided I want to do that.
Nice. So is he still in school, or has he graduated?
He graduated this year, or last year.
Okay, congratulations to him. So did he tell you about what it was like to be in school for chemistry, or like his plans?
Yeah, and he actually he works with the church now, but he, during college, worked at a lab studying Alzheimer's, and he told me all about, he was mass like brain cells and all that stuff, and I was just like, that's really cool. And
that's amazing.
So I kind of was like, I like that idea, the idea that I could do something like that, but also something completely different and have it be the same field. So the broadness of it also kind of attracted me.
Okay, very good. Yeah, there are a lot of options.
Yeah, it's a fairly general degree.
Well, I mean, that's good. That means it's very useful. So you didn't check the shadowing box, but did you ever like go with him to see any facilities, or talk to a research chemist?
No, not really. He was kind of all the contact that I had, other than like college visits where I just kind of talked to like a professor or something like that. But I had never been in like a chemistry lab or something following people other than like in chemistry class.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what about, they kind of go hand in hand, but is there anything additional about when you decided that you wanted to go to college for sure? Or did they come at the same time? Like, I want to be a research chemist, so I have to go to college.
I think I kind of, just based on like, I love school, and based on like how well I was doing and how much I enjoyed it, I just kind of always, like, there was never like, oh, I'm going to college. It was just kind of always like, oh yeah, of course I'm going to. Like, it was just like more learning, kind of something that I always, so regardless of what I wanted to do, my plan was to go to college since I was like 3, since I could talk. It was just like, well, I want to do that. So yeah, it wasn't anything too crazy that completely influenced me to go to college, other than just kind of.
Okay. So you said that both of your parents have 4-year degrees, including bachelor's. So given that you said that you have known you're going to go to college since age 3, how do you think that their education has played a part in your decision, if at all?
I think it is, in the sense that you kind of want to be like your parents, and you kind of you see like what they're doing, and you kind of want to. There's also kind of this societal thing of like, you should go to college, but I think mainly my parents were never like, oh yeah, you're going to college, or they never pushed that on me. It was kind of just like, I decided that on my own that I wanted to. First, because I was like, well, my parents both did something, so obviously I want to do it. And then as I learned more and more what it's about, and learned that I liked learning in schools more and more, I was like, well then, yeah, I definitely want to.
Okay. It actually makes sense for me as an individual.
Yeah.
What do they think about you going to college next year?
I mean, they obviously don't want me to leave, but they're excited. They like going around to the colleges and talking to all the stuff, and the process is a little grueling, but I think they're optimistic, but they're also, just the first kid going to college, so it's obviously like a big thing that they have to kind of deal with, and I don't know if I'm going to be living at home or not, or that kind of stuff. So.
Do you think that they're overall very happy about your decision to pursue higher education?
Yeah, I would say so.
You talked about them loving to go on college visits and such. How else have they played a part in your preparation for college? So just as a refresher, these were all the things that you said you had done to prepare.
Mm-hmm.
There are probably others that I didn't think of to put on that list, so if that helps.
Yeah, so my mom is super on top of things, sort of like I am. She's very neurotic, in the sense that it's like she has like this huge calendar of things, and she kind of is keeping track of everything and knows what to do. So I think she definitely helped by like taking me and being like, all right, here's what's got it. Like, you want to do this, let me help you facilitate how that happens, though.
Okay.
Like, you know, and I knew I would have been able to, but she helped me a lot in like, all right, let's plan for tomorrow. Let's work on some college essays and stuff, and just kind of like getting all of the things that I had to do together. Mm-hmm. Me and her kind of work a lot with stuff like that. You know, if there's a big thing that I have to do. So she definitely helped me a lot.
Yeah, she sounds like a really great person to have in your life, especially in this process. Everyone needs one of her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a huge help to have. And my dad is like that as well. It's just like, my mom was more involved. She kind of was like, all right, this was kind of let's tackle this together, and you're going to write the essays and stuff, but we got to figure out and kind of plan this and organize this. Okay. So.
Was there anything on this list or otherwise that you didn't know how to do yet, and maybe your parents' own college experiences helped?
Let's think. I mean, okay, so research, so any of the research stuff I kind of did on my own, like what kind of major and that kind of stuff. I think there's things that my mom did, like helping set up campus visits, that I could have figured out, but that she did in the sense of like, I was at school one day and she's like, hey, I found a way to visit Ohio State or something like that. But yeah, like they didn't do, I think I would have been able to figure out how to do all of those things by myself, but they helped me a lot in like kind of getting it organized and putting it in like a little package.
Yeah. What about in terms of choosing a school?
They're actually, so it's funny to say that because, you know, it is a hard decision. So like, I like Ohio State a lot, or Otterbein, and hopefully I'm interviewing for 2 full ride scholarships, hopefully at Otterbein. But, you know, my mom came to me and was like, hey, you know, if you get one of these full ride scholarships, you know, it's great. But she's like, I want you to know, if don't feel pressured because, you know, Otterbein has offered you free education. If you like Ohio State, or if you like any of the other ones, we'll support wherever you want to go, even if it is more expensive. And I think she turned down a full ride to another school when she was going to college because they didn't have the program she wanted. Okay. And so she kind of understood, like, if you don't want to go to Otterbein, but they offer a full ride or something like that, you know, it's okay to say, I really want to go to Ohio State rather. You know, it's like, it's obviously not fun to pay a bunch for school, but she's like, we won't be mad at you or anything. Like, we know that is going to be what helps you best. Okay. So.
Yeah, and that's a really significant part of that decision too, the financial.
It is.
So.
And private colleges and stuff, it's all different.
Mm-hmm. I actually started at Otterbein. I did a year and a half there and went to Ohio State, so.
Well, and that was something she said, hey, if you want to do that, you can as well. It's up to you.
Okay.
So
do you feel like her background and her own experiences sort of helped her advise you maybe a little bit?
I would say so, but I think it was more along the lines of it just like a basic, I mean, she learned it, but more like a basic, like, hey, I think he kind of, you know, like she just kind of understood, okay, there's these full ride scholarships, but I don't want him to get the idea that, you know, you have to, or like if we're worried about money or something, I don't want to give him this idea that he has to go somewhere where they give him the most money. And so she's like, we'll set them all down and look. So I'd say, I guess, yeah. Because my dad was more along the lines of like, well, if they offer a scholarship, and, you got to take that. That's a lot of money. But,
and your mom's like, no.
My mom was kind of explaining like, yeah, but it's different. Otterbine's a college that's only slightly bigger than this high school.